Good evening, class. This week, the teacher wanted us to go over something that we are passionate about, or a story that we could share with anyone that meant something to us. So, I know there's some people that are younger that are in this class. I know there's some people that are older, and this may sound kind of cheesy in a sense of what I want to go over or discuss, but my topic that I want to go over is safety. I've been a general contractor for years. I work for myself, and over the last 5 6 years, I've been working for a very large general contractor out of Kansas City. And one of the things that is truly prevalent on any construction site that I've ever been to is safety. Above and beyond anything else, safety is the number one concern. Safety is the one thing that can shut down a site. You'll have injuries on your site. You could have people die. You can have a variety of different things happen. And so I've taken this very seriously since I was younger, because I was blessed to be able to work for my father, who was also a general contractor. And the one thing that he taught me above anything else is that it's always quality over quantity, and the way that you get the quality is by working safely. And he was right. He's very right on that aspect of it. If you're hurt, you can't do much work. But if you do it the right way, it may take a few minutes longer, but it can ultimately save time in the long run. In regards to safety, in my experiences, I had a project I was doing, Hines Community College in Jackson, Mississippi. It was a 5-story brick building. We had some Honduran masons that were working, and they weren't exactly the safest, but I've always been on top of them ever since I pretty much saw that I needed to be. And one day I just happened to go up, and they were actually working very safely. And I went up to the very top of the building to check on progress. And they were building the very peak, the top, the gable end of the building up in the fifth floor. And I went up there, took a couple measurements, came down, and it had just rained. So I walked through to the lobby to go out the back of the building, and decided, maybe I shouldn't walk out there. It's pretty muddy from the forklifts and everything else that's been running. So let me turn around and go back out the side of the building. Not to mention they were working directly above that area, so it wasn't a safe idea to go out there anyway. So in the process of me thinking that, which really only took about 5 seconds, I turned around and started to walk away. The whole earth shook. The whole top of the building, 24 foot of masonry block, had fell off the top of the building and hit the ground. If I would have walked out of that building, I would have been crushed. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. So that one event changed the way that I viewed safety. So as the years went by, recently I've moved on to other projects, and I'm currently in Hays, Kansas, working on the Ellis County Courthouse Law Enforcement Center. I had some guys digging out in the parking lot, and we have water lines you have to run, different things like that, and they usually run pretty deep. And I have an assistant that works for me that just got out of college, and I'm trying to teach him the right way to do things, and safety is the main thing that I teach him. And when we went out to the parking lot, I said, let's go check on these guys. Let's make sure they're digging safely. And I went out there, and of course, the first thing that the guy says, he's about 60 years old. He's sitting on a little Mini X. He sees me coming. Don't come over here. Don't come over here. Don't look in this trench. So of course the thing that I'm going to do is walk over there and look and see what's going on. And I look in this trench, and there's a guy that's probably about 5 foot tall, and his head is probably about a foot below the parking lot. And there's no slopes, there's no benches in the trench, there's no ladder in the hole, there's nothing, just a guy down there surrounded by dirt. So I shut him down, made him dig back further, made them bench it the way they're supposed to, and and everything else. And they were kind of a work in progress, those guys, but I made them work safely, and once they knew how I wanted things done, they stuck to it. Well, recently there was about 2 blocks away, it was about 2 months ago, there was another outfit that works in this same town that was working on doing some work for the city. And of course, me working at the law enforcement center at courthouse, that's where the first responders, a lot of them are. There comes a call over the radio that there's been a trench collapse, and it was right down in front of the new administrative building here in town. There was guys working down in the trench, didn't have a trench box, didn't have it sloped or benched, and a train came by, and when it did, just the vibrations collapsed a 10-foot tall trench, and there was two people that were killed. Sorry. Well, the guys that were working on my site, everybody knows each other in this town. They knew the guys that were in the trench and that died, and they came over to my site and they thanked me for making them work safely, because that very easily could have been them, and that meant a lot to me. Well, recently our company had a retreat for all the superintendents and project managers, and we got out there, and I didn't know it, but I had a safety guy pop into our site, and I didn't even know he was there. He just came by to just check on things discreetly, that way he could see what's going on whenever we don't know that they're coming. And he had seen that he had seen all the extra steps I had taken with safety for fall protection on the buildings, and I covered up a big hole where we had to dig to do a footing because it was going to snow, and I made him bench it 3 times because it was about 18 foot deep. Actually, it might have been a little more than that. But I was doing all these different things, and he took pictures of him while we're sitting in these meetings. They pop up these pictures on the screen, and I looked at it. It looked kind of familiar, but I wasn't sure what was going on. But it was pictures of me and my assistant on my site, and we were directing people. You can see in the pictures we were directing them on what they needed to do, and there was other pictures in there of all the safety precautions we had taken. And they gave me the 2015 annual MW Builders Company-wide Safety Award. Doesn't seem like may not seem like a lot to you guys, but it's a big deal within my company. It really is. And not just that, but it was an honor to get something like that, and it was great to be able to tell my father about that. He was more proud of that than anything I've ever built or anything I've ever done, just because that told him that I actually learned from him and life experiences from working with him. So be safe. Don't let this class drive you crazy. Do your best, and if you ever need anything, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thanks.